Good morning. My name is Chris Macek. I'm the CEO of SystemOne. And I want to start this morning with a small parable. Imagine, if you will, with me for a second, that you're walking down a road. As you walk down the road, you're coming up to a city. There's something in the distance as you move toward it. And as you come toward the city, you can see that there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of building. There's a lot of construction. There's a lot of bustle and motion. There's liveliness. As you come into the city, you see some bricklayers. And there's 3 people there, and they're cutting and squaring bricks. And you come to the first one and you say, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm cutting and squaring bricks. I'm bricklaying. I'm laying the foundation." Okay. And you walk a little bit further down the road and you come to the second brick mason. And they're also doing the same thing. They're cutting and squaring the stones. And you say, "Good morning. What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm a bricklayer. I'm building a wall here because we have a building to build." So they're constructing. You walk a little further down the road, and you come to the third brick mason, and you say, they're also cutting and squaring the stones. And you say, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Me? I am building a cathedral, a house of God." And so there's an idea of kind of what the job is, but what the vision is, what you're doing. So I could tell you that at SystemOne, we connect diagnostic devices. That we put out SIMs and routers and modems, we connect them in real time, and those diagnostic devices come back to our central platform. But that's really just laying the foundation. I could tell you that we take those results and we actively push them back into the health system in a result reporting. We make sure that those lab results get back to the clinics and the patients and the doctors that need them. But again, that's just the second part of kind of raising the walls of that diagnostic network. What we're really doing at SystemOne is we're linking diagnosis to treatment so that every patient who's diagnosed can be put on appropriate treatment. So loss to follow-up, I'm going to talk a little bit here about TB, but loss to follow-up is one of the biggest problems in lower and middle income countries. So here are some percentages across different countries. This is a study again done in TB about how many people were diagnosed but never made it to treatment. And it ranges anywhere from 7% to 40% based on the study or the country. I like to take 1 in 5 as just a ballpark number. So 1 in 5 people who are diagnosed never make it onto treatment. And at least in TB, half those people we know die. Okay, it's a lot of people. It's a kind of inefficiency in the system. So what we do is we look at the diagnoses and we compare that to the treatment, and we try to map to make sure there is no loss to follow. So how do we do that? We have a central platform, which we call Aspect. And to that platform, we network or connect the diagnostics in the lab. So in TB, for instance, we've been using the Cepheid Gene Expert. In HIV, we do the Abbott M2000 or the Roche Cobas. We connect those devices and move those diagnostics into our platform. We then can send, through our result reporting or alert mechanisms, send those results back out into the health system, either through SMS or email, or we have an app now that clinicians can use or patients can use, and we get those results back to the clinic, and we can account to make sure that they're received so that we know those results have been sent. We can also, through our APIs, connect directly to other electronic medical systems, digital systems, patient record systems, clinical systems, to move those diagnostic results back again into the appropriate place in the health system where they can bring treatment. But again, that's the sort of second layer. What we do then is we're able to get some confirmation back from those systems, not only that we've sent that lab result out, but it's been received and confirmed that that patient is on treatment. So the simple idea that we have as we keep track of all these diagnostics, all these diagnoses, everyone has a little checkbox by it. Every positive diagnosis has a checkbox, and we're waiting to see that it's checked. We're waiting to see that confirmation. And it may be a healthcare worker in a clinic who has an app who can get the results for their clinic. They can see their patient. They know this patient's on treatment. They just push one button on the app that says, this result is with a patient who's confirmed on treatment. That little checkbox comes up in our system, and we know we can start to then see basically a simple indicator how many of our positive diagnoses have been confirmed in the health system beyond treatment. And we have a simple way to measure over time this direct link from diagnosis to treatment. So that's the basic system and how it works. There's a lot of technical parts of it, and our expertise is in technology and how we bring that to the health system. But we're basically selling accountability or the ability to link that and let systems do that. This isn't a new idea. We've been doing this now for almost 5 years. We're in over 40 countries. We've got about 2,500 labs already connected in TB, for instance. We've moved about 7 million TB results in that time across various health systems. Moving ahead this year, we're looking at moving into HIV a little bit more. The same models and principles that we're using in TB apply to the 90-90-90 goals, if you know what that is, and helping systems keep track of viral load testing and viral suppression. In terms of what I would like here today and with all of you, we're looking for partners to continue this sort of work. So anybody who's interested or working in an environment where there's some challenges linking diagnosis to treatment, sending things out to labs and getting those results back in a timely way, in a meaningful way, and ensuring that the appropriate follow-up and treatment is happening. That's what our systems enable. We're also looking to partner with device manufacturers, you know, the Roche, the Abbott, the whole logic, so that they can consider this sort of approach as part of offering a diagnostic network, part of supporting a lab diagnostic network. And finally, we're working across the treatment cascade, the cascade of care, keeping track from the point of screening, referral, testing, treatment, adherence to treatment, and eventual outcome, being able to measure across that cascade. I talked originally about diagnosis to treatment, but there's a couple other points that we're also able to do. Thank you very much.